It's the biggest governmental show in U.S. history.
It's like Farrakhan to me, March.
Absolutely. Wasn't nobody coming. So they know how black people are. Ha, nobody's coming. So all the Negroes say they making fun of the brothers, so they came. But what did they do? Them niggas was passing out some big black garbage bags, 55-gallon garbage bags, filling with money, and ain't nobody seen none of it.
Oh, somebody saw some of
Yeah.
the National Negro.
The National Negro, that the captains and lieutenants and sold fruit didn't steal, because they had money coming out of their bow ties, you know. Yeah, of course they had, I mean, you know. But all the other helpers didn't have any. The people that helped put it on, they didn't get no cut. Okay, so that's what the people have. The people have no heroes, they have no focus, they have nowhere to go. And guess what that is? The making of a great blockbuster. When the whole world is threatened, all the blockbusters, it's the same story, tell the truth. The whole world is threatened by a monster, or a Hitler, or outer space. It's whatever it is, can't nobody move. Then here come the heroes. Power Rangers or somebody. That's what we are. I told Sakina years ago, I said, we're Muslim Rangers. Just like the Power Rangers have to fight that big giant, and they morph up, they get a little this big, and they blow up. I said, that's what we do. That's what we did from then to now, and now we're getting ready to do it again. But on a higher level, it's the same battle, like they had the same battle every week, right? On the Power Rangers. All the shows, all the movies, is the same battle. But everybody's scared, everybody's running to hide, everybody, can't nobody do nothing. And then it's a conflict between good and evil. That's what it always is. Can you imagine? We get an opportunity to play the part. We'd already played it though. We didn't already get it. It's worse than Shakespeare. We've been trained for this act. We've been trained. First you go on stage. We didn't do it on stage. We didn't do it on the road. Now we're going big global cinema. Same story. Same story. So, and everybody will recognize it. Why? Because everybody already recognizes it. Surrounded in Oakland with all of those people, right? All institutions. Nobody even called us on the phone. Nobody, right? And everybody knows that. None of our friends, none of the old timers, we slogged with them through the mud for decades. Had they back every time, and they ran away. Or they're out there in suburbia right now. And the ones that could help, they sitting at the top of the government with their teeth chattering. And like I told them, you never cut a nigga's throat unless you're gonna kill him. That's what I tell them now. I've been telling them. So you don't cut no nigga's throat and you don't kill him. Get an old dull knife and scrub around there and just make him mad. So y'all are stupid. You don't mess with no nigga unless you're gonna take him out. You don't mess with nobody. You don't mess with no, they don't know the rules. They're gonna break my spirit and I'm gonna be sad. And I'm gonna think it's too great of a challenge. Well, where I come from, it's always been the same challenge. There's the Euro. He got me in a cell. He's beat me upside the head, right? And he's got the courts and everything on his side. And he done scared all the niggas away. What's new about that? Nothing. How can you be afraid you didn't see, if I jump out of, if you walk walk down the thing and you jump out and say, boo, you scared me to death one time. But after I walked down that street 40 times, and on the 37th time, you jump out and do the same thing you did 36 times. Boo! I said, nigga, what's wrong with you? You don't get tired of that, don't, you know, or you might, before you get to the bush, you say, hey man, if you jump out of that bush, I'm gonna stick my foot in your butt. If you jump out and say, boo, I'm gonna take off my belt and whoop you across the street. That's the way you gotta remember. We whoops the white man with a belt. We whoop him with a switch. We tease. Everybody's scared of him, right? Do we say, we want y'all because of white? No, we say you cracker, we slap the piss out of you. We done did it already, and if you mess up one more time, I'm gonna shake the world up and kick your behind. And then you turn on the news, and everything is messed up because you're messing with the brother. I told you in the first place, if you think you get whooped now, you keep on. Keep on. You don't know the difference. It's psychological guerrilla warfare. Whatever happens, we slapping the urine out of it. Well, he's slapping himself. You know them self-slapping machines? Can you imagine? You gotta look at the news. We predicted the news would be that. And I say, how can they, you know, this the I be damn effect. We Brother Abdul-Haq and I used to talk about all these things. And then 2 weeks later or a month later, we said, I be damned. The fool really did it. You know, at that time it was George Bush. That's what's happening now. You say, this is what's going to happen. We're going to make fun of them. And then, but anybody with any sense. Right. And you look at it, I be damned.
You know, on the radio today, they had the girl, the lady whose husband got killed. Right. Maisha or something?
Yeah.
So she's getting interviewed, and so she's telling them that when Trump called her,
right,
what made her start crying was his tone.
Right.
You know, his tone, I guess it was like cold-blooded.
Yeah.
You know. And the other lady, the congresswoman, was listening. And right now, he's still talking about, that's not true, I didn't say that. Now, this is the lady who, this is the husband, the wife of the guy got killed. What she got to lie for?
Yeah.
But he still, I didn't say that.
And talking about to mess up their little program, can you imagine? All the white folks are saying, I didn't know we had troops in Africa. What are we doing there? And the Negroes tell them AFRICOM is there to oppress black people. And they putting up stations for, what's the gadgets that go, drones. Mm-hmm. They're doing drones, it's colonialism.
Right, neo-colonial.
The lady, the congresswoman from Florida,
right,
she said, this is Trump's Benghazi.
Yeah. Hey,
Put him on First Street.
Look, the news, it can't be, I still sit there, and it's like what I asked for. I asked God, I said, make a fool out of him. But not that big a fool. I just want him to be, the people are, it's so foolish that the people don't tell it to. They don't know how foolish it is.
It's beyond belief.
It's beyond belief. They don't ask the people, every now and then they ask the people of Europe and Asia, well, what do you think about, what do we think about America? We don't know what's going on over there.
Every article that comes out talks about his mental state. Every one.
Hey man, you know, in the penitentiary, they always have a crazy house or a crazy section. He looked just like them boys that was in the crazy section. His attitude, he's like a 8, 9, 10-year-old kid on the playground. I said, no, he ain't that. Hey man, when I can't forget about it when all the presidents is there, the G21, and he pushed the people aside and stood there in the front. I said, he didn't do that. That finished him off right there. The day before that, he telling the guy in Australia been behind the U.S. for, I don't know when. And everybody else. This is, see, forget about how the other people experience this. We experience it with religious values. This is exactly what we asked for and more. Harass them, bring them down, humiliate them, make them look like fools. Okay? So, we the only one said that, ain't nobody else said it. So, we take the credit for that. And I'm sorry, you didn't say that, so stop. Don't give no more speeches, Sherrod. Don't give no speeches like you know what's going on. You ain't said nothing about this. You was over there in the corner urinating and crying and shaking. Now you're going to come out and try to explain what's going on. You don't know what's going on. It's about through over there. It's a long door. Okay, so of course we just said our experiences should be studied by other interested Muslim social activists and what have you. Okay, we went over, we don't need anything in Oakland to fight the truth. But from the environment, we're going to make them do some little old, whatever they do, some little old science fiction management stuff, because we're going to run the hills. They know what it means. It means mental, spiritual, all that stuff. A little semi-fasting and all that. They don't like that. They don't like that because, see, years ago, personally, when I was learning, say like in the early 80s and we was going through all of these different things, whatever they was trying to produce, like I'll give you one idea, stress. So I studied stress. What is stress? How do they produce it? You know, where does it come from? What does it produce in people? You know, and all of that. So I made a study out of it. That's what you have to do. That's what you should do, right? You study stress. Since that's what they normally try to produce. Stress will eventually have an effect on your heart, your brain, your thinking, your everything. Of course, you'll be stressful. You won't enjoy things. You can be a billionaire, but you won't enjoy the money because of the stress. You have a nice family, but you won't enjoy it because of the stress. So we studied that at that time. Okay? Psychological guerrilla warfare, discombobulating, psycho-composting. All of that stuff for us is real. We're going to take their doo-doo, their S-H-I-T, and we're going to compost it and make it fertilizer. We're going to take all their S-H-I-T and make wonderful ideas out of it. We've been doing it. And when a lie answers your prayer, good God Almighty. So it stops here. This oppression and world, the way it's being managed, has to stop. There's no time set for how long it could go like this. How long the polar caps can keep ice, you know, with all these CO2s. How long the whales can stay in the water without the Japanese eating them all up, and you know what I mean, high tech. How long can the ocean stand these super fishing vessels that gobble everything up, and throw it out in the water and take the, right? Nobody ever thought you could fish up the oceans, but that's what they're doing. Nobody thought you could pollute the oceans, but they got
Islands of plastic.
plastic when they showed it. And then they got the deepest part of the ocean out there, 12 miles deep.
Mm.
It's a junkyard.
Mm.
That's what we gotta clean up. Okay, so we got to stop it. If we don't stop it, who's gonna stop it? Can you invent somebody, or can you elect somebody to do it? Not so far. Okay, we'll try to speed up. Good boy, time. Wa alaikum salam. Bye-bye. Yeah, well, see, when you like folks, your heart be warmed up, and I just couldn't.
Your warm and fuzzy friend type thing.
Oh, it was hard for me to, when you had those people close around you, your heart get to skipping a beat and stuff like that. I was a research project, not a living, learning, evolving being. We talked about that. But that was the reason for the misfire. They always misfire because they studied us as a static being, not an evolving being. Oakland will become the most studied epic in modern history. Again, that's part of our, Oakland has a wonderful history, and we're gonna do both coasts, Oakland, DC. That's where the evolution evolves from, right here and right there. When we go out there, we start the process. When we come back here, we start at a bigger level. Inshallah. But we don't have like artificial time limits. See, in planning and everything, one of the key elements is put a time limit on it.
It didn't.
We don't do that. Though they're helpful sometimes. But this is all, tafweed means we delegate all of that to Allah. We're doing all of what we can right now. We got no, this is us doing this. But we turn it over to Allah. You see. And Rida, we're happy with what we get. We're happy with what you'd have to be happy with Don. You asked for food and Allah gave you Don. That would be sacrilegious to say, oh, I didn't want, when people pray for something, they get it. I didn't want her. She's too tall. I didn't want her. She's too short. Oh, she's not light enough. Oh, she's too dark. Oh, she's too light. I didn't want a white girl. I wanted a Mexican. Guys sitting there praying, oh God, I just want a good, compassionate person. Then Allah said on the good, compassionate person, oh, she's colored. Mexican? I didn't ask for a Mexican. The dummy asked for a good, compassionate person, human being. So we ain't gonna do that. Well, Allah, give us a food that just destroys the image of America, that breaks down its power structure. Do a Samson-on way, put stands at the pillars of the auditorium and brings it down and bring the whole. That's done. We got that. We got that done doing that. Hey man, I believe if I said to Allah, I believe that, the sparks this way. I believe lightning would zap a nigga, boy. He wouldn't ask for nothing else. That's just the way I believe. That's why I don't ask for much. But I did ask for that, and I got it. So I don't care whether y'all understand. You didn't heard enough to understand our dialogue. You ought to be able to keep up. No, the people watching this, they ought to be able to keep up. You know what I mean? We can't go back to the public that don't know nothing about it. We'll start in first grade. For y'all that's watched over 5 or 10 of these, We're not going back to no elementary school. You're supposed to know that already. So, resource commitment, time commitment, romanticize. Boy Scouts honor. On my honor to do my best, something like that.
To do my duty,
To
to
do
guide
my
my
country.
country.
Boy Scouts honor. We've kept it. You know what I mean? We've kept it. Forget about the Muslim honor, the Negro honor. We kept all the honors. I think she called them y'all. Anyway, maybe we can get out of that door over there or something. So this is crucial. Other people don't keep the faith. They let the system change it. We was talking about the congressman or the governor or anybody. The game changing. Guy go in the game to get a little money pretty soon. The game will change it. Next time you see him, he ain't the same person. The game will change it. Yes.
That was Adam Clayton Powell's famous saying.
What was that?
Keep the faith, baby.
Keep the faith, baby. Yeah, they didn't like it, Adam. Good God Almighty, that boy was. He wasn't bad. He ain't never hurt no Negroes. Right?
He ain't never spent the money in re-election either.
Hey, man. Shoot. He may do a little cheating, do a little drinking with a few girls here and there, but I mean, he's a preacher. What is he supposed to do? Right?
That's right.
Can you hold, if you guy walk down and he's told Negro hair roll up on his head, can you blame him for that? He was born like that. If you go to preacher school, you read the preacher library books, you wear preacher clothes and you drive preacher cars, then you do what preachers do, right? We can't blame Martin Luther King for that, for the stuff he do. You know, some of the great, I said, so what? Look what he did. He's a good man. You know, Islam may be the last hope for the government. This thing about the government have always shown broken Negroes. They are. But they ain't showing us as broke. That's the thing about carrying, it's not the burden, it's carrying the responsibility of the whole historical process during our time, on our watch. We consider our watch from 68 on. Whatever change we in, we've honored those. We did the Boy Scout honor thing. We have adhered to the highest level of responsibility and commitment to whatever the ideology of the people was at that time. So in the game, we never broke the rules. We never snitched on nobody. We never did none of that. We ain't never buckled to the white man. Never, never. With all of his oppression, he can oppress you. Never. It ain't on his record. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, that's not a bad record. Because somebody should slip once in a while. So, boss man, just give me a little breather. I ain't never said that. And don't plan it. You know, when you get so old, you can't change it. No, that don't mean if I'm hanging up on a hook upside down and the white man said, "You gonna be good, nigga?" I say, "Yes, boss man, I sure am. Just let me down, I'll be the best nigga." Of course I will. You think I'm gonna say, "Hell no, I ain't going to do that"? No. Or they gonna stick electricity in all of your body parts. No, boss. Hey man, ain't no sense of doing that. I'm with you all the way. As soon as I walk outside, I may walk around the block for a couple of weeks to get my stuff back together, right? But I'm not gonna hang up. I don't believe in that Hollywood crap. If the white man pull out one of them hot eyes, say, you gonna do that to the brother boss? I say, you know I was just jiving. Hey man, we can all get along, right? That's a fool to me. That's not a fool. That's good for them. I don't. As soon as I get out, like I said, walk around the block, get shaped up. That's maybe in the future if it ever happens, but it ain't never happened before. Because one thing about it, the torture that they have here is not real torture to what we see overseas. I got a brief look at it. I said, that's real torture. Now, they can psychologically torture you. They can do all that stuff. But see, legally, they can't get you in there and stick electricity all on your ears and all of that. They can, but they don't so far that I know of. They'll whoop the snot out of you. Boy, you'll be wishing you had something. The white man will whoop you till you're numb. Yes, he will. He will do it. I know that for sure. Okay, so we've never been broken by the system, but they have broken a lot of our people. But that's not bad. What I mean is, we standing up for them. Because one of my friends is real big, and he died several years back. And we grew up together in the joint. He was one of the Soledad brothers, and they had a thing for Geronimo Pratt a couple of years ago when he died. That's 4 or 5 years ago now. At the Infirmary Park, Bobby Hutton Park in Oakland, where the Panthers used to meet. So I heard about it on the WPFW station, the Pacifica station out there. So after I ran, I went down. And so one of the people, they was having a simulcast, and it was going on the radio, and maybe a little bit of democracy now, but anyway. So somebody looked up and saw me, and they said, no, this guy's the top guy in the Muslim stuff, man. Let him speak. So I got in the line. I was next to speak. And then the lady, she was the head of the Malcolm X, something or other. I guess she was about 50 then. She was, you could tell when she was younger, she looks like she was mixed with Negro and Indian, but a good 50-50 split. Indian hair, Native American Indian, and brownish red, dirty red color. And she was married to one of the big Negroes, big professor Negro in that region. Book writers and all that. So she was standing behind me. She said, like she was talking about some mythical figure, are you the one they call Big Black? I said, well, Big Hank. The people had heard about it, but anyway, I got up and I was speaking about, I said, yeah, me and Fleeta Drumgo, one of the Soledad brothers, he was my workout partner. Then when I finished, the 94-year-old, they said, there's a lady over there I want to talk to you. She's 94 years old. She said, I'm Fleeta's mother. I didn't know you used to play with him. I said, yeah, I did. She meant work out. But I meant work out, but she meant we used to play together. I said, yeah. She said, when he came home, he never left that prison. What they did to him? They did him a number. And he lived through that shooting of George Jackson on the yard. And he lived through all of that. He was right there. The last time I saw him, maybe 78 or 79 or something. I just saw him briefly, but I was in my own transition. He had a bottle of Ripple, you know, that wine. And I just wasn't able to help, you know what I mean? But I could tell that they had did, you know, they do, and then them black niggas, and I ain't gonna call the name of their houses, let's call it Freedom House, talking all that black talk. He invited them to speak, and they was making fun of him. Yeah, he was in the corner, all blah, blah. And he done one been through the fight. Them niggas is book reading niggas. They ain't never had their finger on no trigger. They ain't never been confronted. And the white man don't never bother them. And they always talking gangster talk. Well, I tell everybody they the police. They come to Oakland right after the party is finished, and they collect all the people. You know how they do. Anyway, it is getting late, right? Okay. So we're the continuation of all of that movement. That's what our job is. That's what our duty is. The continuation, I say for me, for ourselves from all the way back through history of us being here, all the way up to the future, because Allah brought us here for that reason, and the other people tried to steal our birthright and give it to somebody else. It is our job not to put up with that. That's what we're doing. And then the one that's in charge of it, the Zionist American Saudi triangle of terror, they just happen to be the ones flying the flag of oppression at this time. But whoever was flying that flag, we're gonna, they understand, we're gonna take you out. That's old dumb talk. We're gonna wind up being the al-Faqih, the victorious, the triumphant. Hizbullahi humul ghalibun. The party of God will be victorious. And if we didn't have 50 rounds, I think we done won 40 of them, boss man. We done won 40 rounds. Maybe a couple of draws. We're head on points. It don't look too good for you, boss man. And now it's a psychological thing. So, if you want to see how bad you're being whipped, turn on Channel 4 News tonight. Turn on public broadcasting and see how bad well, you can look at BBC, Turkish news, Iranian news, Russian news. RT.
Just the other day, Trump had to recall 1,000 retired fighter pilots. I mean, he used his executive order to call them back. They're retired. And he got to keep them for at least 3 years because they ain't got no fighter pilots with the kind of experience these 1,000 guys got.
And everything is falling apart. They done had 3 or 4 ships over there in the Malacca Straits running brand new ships with supersonic, they can see you around the corner.
One of the African Americans who died on one of those ships.
Yes, I
from
remember.
DC.
Is that right? I saw the pictures. They had 11 of them on the...
Yeah, a guy I know that I used to get coffee with, he was dating the guy's mother.
Okay.
So,
it looks like it's getting late, so we'll wrap it up. Okay, that's our goal, dear believers. Is to carry on the struggle, and it's our responsibility not only to romanticize this mission, but to remain humane and to remain honorable. We're not going to let the war change us. We're going to change the rules of war. We've already changed the psychological guerrilla warfare, and they accepted it. That was dumb on their part, because that means that not they can't kill you, but if all I do is make fun of them and they was to kill me, then people say, man, the guy just be teaching you. You can't take that, right? It's a defense. All I do is talk about their mama and stuff. And you're gonna boil a nigga in oil just for, you know what I mean? That means that they little itty bitty. So they trap. This is the best type of warfare, psychological warfare. And we take Richard Pryor, Moms Mabley, them, all them, the great hero, Pigmeat Markham, them. They're great proponents of psychological warfare. So, dear believers, hold on, lock on and lock out to the truth. Lock on to the truth and lock out that information, the Lolo concept. Lock out what they tell you and lock on to what we talk about. And you'll be successful. And this ride will be wonderful. Just buckle up your seatbelts, the top one and the low one, because it's going to get a little tossy-turvy every now and then, and you don't want to get thrown out the vehicle, the psychological guerrilla warfare vehicle. If you ain't buckled in, this boy will throw you out somewhere along the way, and all the traffic behind you will run over you. Anyway, we thank y'all very, very much. And I thank you too, because I'm going to close with this, but I have to tell you, I'd be lying if I didn't. If I had an opportunity to do anything I could dream of in the world, guess what it would be? This right here was a place to be. Be right here, getting ready to go somewhere if I choose it. So, it's just like a job. If you like doing it, you'll never work again. That's what white folks say. If you get a job you like, you'll never work again. So don't you worry about me getting scared of the white man, or him hollering boo, or him taking something and ruining our lives. He can't do it. Because what we got come from Allah, and He can't take that away. As-Sabiqun wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah.